What? You think you're going or something? Well, you're right. What's up, buddy? Rock. Something's missing here. That's right. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you're getting in the holiday spirit, because I know Rocket is. So today we are going to be taking the 4640 and the Kuhn Knight Pro Spread PS 260 down to Travis's place, where we have a huge, and I mean huge, pile of manure that's been building up over the years from where we always feed bales. So every few years we try to go through and clean up the pile as best we can to kind of keep it down and keep it from getting a little bit too tall. Right now it's reached a point where there's a pretty good pile where it should be sloping down the hill. So since we've got the Kuhn Knight spreader on the farm, we are going to be taking a spreader down. Dad and Travis just left with the JCB Teleskid and the Bobcat, and we're going to be loading with both skid loaders today. We're going to be hauling out into the break-in, which the break-in is back in the 40. Dad said he wants us to dump the manure back there because that has never gotten any manure. So we're going to be taking the spreader out with the wheelman, and I'm going to be setting up my lines out there, and we're going to be spreading with the auto steering. So what do you say we head down and get started? You know, Rocket, that hat looks a little bit too good on you. He's rocking it, so yeah, well, leave him to his own devices. So we've got the Wheelman Pro on here. We're going to be heading down to Travis's place. I still have to redo the calibrations on this because I was messing around with it like I shouldn't have been, and I just have to do my circles and then we're good to go. Now we're in the first cow pasture down at Travis's place, down at British. Just straight back, right up on top of the hill here. And there are some sinkholes up here that we gotta watch out for, such as this one right next to us. This material has a high amount of corn fodder in it, as you can see. So the goal today is to go back out into the field and start returning some of these nutrients back to where they came from. It's pretty cool seeing the two skid loaders work side by side though. hope you were good this year, kids, because Santa might fill your stocking. And it isn't coal. wheelman on here, but unfortunately, I think I have a bad wire, because it appears that when the seat went down, when you shut the tractor off, and probably me when I sat in the tractor, it looks like this wire here was placed just the right spot. So the wheelman's starting up, but it's not giving me the green ring around the power button, so it's telling me that it's not getting enough power, there's not a continuity between all of the sensors and everything. So that tells me that I'm gonna have to replace that wire with another one. But unfortunately, we're down at another farm where I can't just walk in, get the other wire. It's on another one, so I'll probably have to do that tonight when I get back. I'll grab this and make sure I bring it down with me. Now this is going to be a multi-day excursion, so we've cleared up a good portion of the pile, but there's still a lot to go. But something tells me that we might have an ace hidden up our sleeves in the upcoming video or two. So be sure to stay tuned. Got something else that I'm looking forward to making videos with. So with that, we're going to keep going until we decide that that's enough for today. We don't want to do too much of this in the dark, especially since there are quite a few sinkholes up here. They filled a couple of them, but Dad said that Travis drove over one and it was starting to sink under him. So that's not something that you really want to happen. So plus we have all this week to haul this out, so got plenty of time to do it. I just shut the spreader down, and that was the last load for today. It's getting too late. We don't want to do this too late at night. And we're still going to take this back to the farm. So I'm going to go back to the buildings, pick Travis up, and then head back to the main farm in Rockville. So one of the biggest things I really like about this spreader is just the fact that you can shut off the web since it's hydraulically driven. Now, I'm used to our new Idea spreader, which has a PTO driven web, and you can't shut that off. So at least with this thing, I mean, if you get into some problems, you can actually just shut the web down and back up if you have to. Whereas with our new idea spreader, since it's PTO driven, you really can't shut it down, mostly because if you shut the PTO off, and not in every circumstance, but if you shut it off and you're spreading particularly heavy stuff, you won't always be able to get the spreader started again because of all the junk that'll fall back into the beater. But at least with this thing, I mean, you can shut the web off, and that is effectively shutting down the flow of manure out into the field. And I found it to be really useful when I'm crossing waterways, because I don't want to put manure into the waterway, at least when I can remember to shut it off, because that's still kind of a new feature for me that I'm not really used to, just being able to shut it off and start it back up whenever I choose. Usually with our new idea, it's start it and go. But I'm gonna head back to the buildings now. Travis is waiting for me. But we'll continue another day with this spreader. So I've got some special things coming. So at the end of this video, we might catch a glimpse of it. I don't really know for sure if it's here yet, but it's gonna be something that should be helping us out in our next video of spreading manure. So let's head back and pick Travis up. Well, I think we know what the JCB is loading into. All right, dude, you're free. Go on. There's a little preview of our upcoming video. You know, this hat is actually really, really warm. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. So be sure to stay tuned for our next video, which is going to be featuring a Kuhn Pro Push. But more to come in our next video. So anyway, hope you guys lucked out and didn't get any manure in your stockings. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of your Christmas. See you next time.